Come on, come on. Ha, ha. Men, women, and children, hope is in the building. Yeah, what is up? Welcome to another episode of the Human Hope Podcast. Woo! We're in it. We're in it. This is episode 2 in the It's Never Too Late series. That's right. It is never too late. Last night, Mimi let us know. Not last night, last week, Mimi let us know it's never too late. And this week, Phil's going to let us know it's never too late. It's never too late. I said, Phil's going to let us know it's never too late. That's right. We got a brother named Phil on the show. And listen, if you can't trust a guy named Phil, you can't trust anyone. I am so excited that my friend Phil Rasmussen is on the podcast. Phil is, I can't even, there's no way I'm going to be able to describe the impact Phil has had in my life. Phil's like a decade ahead of me. Okay. He's just a little bit more seasoned than I in parenting, in living, in all of the things. And today, which is episode 130 of the Human Hope Podcast, with your host, Carlos Enrique Whittaker Guzman and Chibel Cabello, my friend Phil is on here to let us know a whole bunch of things. Like I basically just hit record and Phil dropped truth bombs left and right. Now, I love how many of you loved last week's episode. Like there were so many nuggets and you're going to get just a different perspective of the same idea this week. Like I said, I ran across I don't know if I said this last week or if I said this in my interview with Phil, but I ran across a 17-year-old that had told me, and I apologize if I said this last week already, but it's still just sitting with me. He just tried out for the lacrosse team. I was asking him how it's going. He's like, I just wish I would have started when I was 12. I just feel like I'm too late. When 17-year-olds are telling you it's too late, I'm just letting you know. We got work to do. So whoever you are, it is not too late. Phil, in his late 50s, completely changed careers. Completely. And is crushing it. He's crushing it. So here's the deal. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in the because I've got some episodes coming up that are just me. And so I could talk your ear off because I got a lot I want to talk to you about. But I'm going to wait till it's like the me episode. And I'm going to let Phil come right in right now and jump in. Phil is the executive pastor at my church. He's executive ministry pastor at my church, The Belonging Co. And he's relatively new to Nashville. He's from Seattle. He's got a higher education. That's kind of where he's worked his entire career. And now he's switched. He's jumped and he's doing ministry at a local church. And I'm not gonna ruin it. I'm gonna let Phil tell you his story. But buckle up. This conversation is so inspirational. Phil, thank you. And Human Hope Familia, welcome, my friend, Phil. I have Phil Rasmussen. Is that how you say your last name, Phil?
Rasmussen, yeah.
Did I say
you got
it correctly?
Yeah, you did.
I mean, you're a friend of mine, but
that's okay.
Don't want to mispronounce your last name.
A lot of people butcher it, and I'd never correct anybody.
Ever.
No, so it's all good.
There's so many places I want to go in this conversation. I'm so grateful that you're hanging out with me. But the first place I want to go is where we were talking, what we were talking about right before we hit record. And I said, Anthony, hit record, because we were about to get into, there's a lot of things that I think are important we're going to talk about, but this one may be the most important. You may be the only other friend of mine I know that goes as hard at Christmas time.
I do.
As I do.
Yep.
You people actually, before you moved here, and they knew how hard I went at Christmas, they're like, hey, there's a guy moving here to Nashville, and he loves Christmas like you do. So you're a big Christmas outdoor decorator.
I am. And again, I can't compare myself to you.
No,
Carlos,
listen, no, stop.
You are on another level. You are on the tour of Nashville for Christmas decorations.
Okay, that's true. But
that
is
okay. True. Yeah, that is true. And I have driven by your house at Christmas time myself off the toured schedule just to see your lights, and they're phenomenal. But yeah, no, and honestly, I have to start and give a lot of credit to my wife, because she truly is the heart of the season in our house.
She is.
Oh, by far. She just brought home brand new decorations that she just purchased this last weekend.
No way.
Oh yeah. And she laid them out. She said, "Hey, I need you to measure. Here's what my thought." I'm like, all about it. Got the tape measure out. Okay, here's how that'll look.
Okay.
So we're already thinking those have already been, put in place, and I mean not in place, but they're already designated to a place.
You're telling me that on October, what is today, the 10th, or I don't know what did, but in the beginning of October, you don't have your Christmas decorations up yet, Phil?
We started, but not yet.
Okay.
So our plan, and here's how it works for us.
Yeah.
I will get started at the end of this month for sure. By the end of this month, I will be in full swing. And by Thanksgiving, everything will be done.
Yep.
And then Thanksgiving, once the dinner and the festivities are done, we flip the switch.
You flip the switch.
Yeah. And
that's your Clark Griswold
and the house
moment.
comes alive. It is a Griswold moment for sure.
Okay.
We all stood out on the street. Last year, we stood out on the street. I hit the button and everything, all the blow ups came up and the lights went on, and that was the beginning of our Christmas season.
I love. So here's the other thing I'm learning already. The fact that you pulled a tape measure out already puts you on a different playing field than I am as opposed to, I'm definitely clipping my own lights, my strings now. And I'm adding lights. I'm doing the, I've gotten to that level. But the difference is when I start, so I start November 1st, the day after Halloween. And I just put up as much as I can and turn it on that day.
Yeah.
And then the next week, I know I'm hanging the star from the tree. That'll take me a couple days, and then I'll flip that on. And so mine kind of slowly
evolves.
Evolves, But I'll tell you, last year, it was 2 years ago. I'll never forget. It's the day after Halloween, the morning after, and I put up my big Santa Claus and I blow it up. And this woman slowly comes, and all morning long, as I've been decorating my yard, neighbors have been slowing down, honking, going like, "Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The kids love it. We're so excited."
Yes.
So there's a station wagon, legit station wagon, from '85 maybe, slowly rolling up, slowing down. She rolls the window down, and I kind of turn and smile, ready for another. "Thank you so much." Yeah. This woman goes, "You are the problem with consumerism in America." I'm not kidding. And she loses it. And I was like, I'm an Enneagram 9. I'm just like, I hate confrontation. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I don't mean to," and she's just like, "You're the problem, da 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 da." So that was 2 years ago. So then last year, she writes me a letter.
Yeah.
And puts it in my mailbox, telling me all the things she told me the year before. So that's the only thing I'm not looking for. Is I've got one kind of grinchy neighbor.
Yeah.
Phil, give me some advice. What do I do?
Do you know where she lives?
I've never seen her. No, she just drives by my house almost on purpose. So I don't know.
So
where
the letter in your mailbox didn't have an address?
No. It was just in an envelope.
It's hard to say. I think if I knew where she lived, it would definitely be a gift basket and a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I would probably. I think. And this is just philosophical for me.
Philosophical.
Any confrontational moment that is counteracted with love will win every time. Love wins every time. So I mean, that's just, and that was even recently, just a not like a confrontational moment, but just a tense moment. Even that in a working environment that I was in, it was the Holy Spirit just speaking to my heart. The best way to deal with this is love them.
Yes.
Love them. Yeah. And it wins every time.
Every time.
Yeah, every time. So it's a gift basket and a Merry Christmas and and if she stops by, maybe you've got something.
Maybe I've got something waiting
for her, and maybe that's God bless you, and a gift card to Starbucks. I don't know.
Yeah.
But just hey, I just want to bless you.
Well, because here's the truth. This is what I told the kids, because Losiah was out with me the first year she was there. I said, obviously, something hurts her.
Yeah,
she's hurting, and at Christmas time it probably hurts even more. For sure.
For sure.
That's good. So I'm gonna, and if you're listening to the podcast, lady in the station wagon, just come over. We'll have
the hot chocolate
warmed up, and I'm going bigger this year. I'm going bigger this year because Phil, I don't know if I've told you this, but I purchased the house across the street from my house.
You did tell me that.
To move my
and
parents
I'm so excited about that.
Which gives me an entire other property to decorate.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I am not only am I broke because I bought a house, but now I've got decorations I have to buy.
But you are rich in that your family's going to be living across the street.
Yes.
You know, it's not about the money.
No.
It's about the relationship. So,
Come on.
you know, your family are going to be across the street, and the seasons of your life coming forward, you know, you may be pinching a few pennies here and there, but I'm telling you, the relationship, I mean, I when you told me the story, Carlos, I just went, wow, what an incredible season that you are coming into just with your family and all of that. I think that's pretty cool.
Thanks,
cool.
Man.
Yeah, really cool.
Well, as people can hear already, I just love talking to you. It's funny. You were a surprise friendship in my life. I've hit the stage in my life where I'm like, I got my friends.
Yeah.
I got them. I can probably only handle the amount of friends, honestly, that I've got fingers on a hand. And then you showed up in Nashville, and I'll never forget, like, I was like, oh, who's this? Oh, these are Natalie and Bernie's friends. Yeah. I've seen them on their Instagram for years. You know, and I was like, oh, they're working here now? That's pretty cool. Yeah. And then just the first time I met you and your beautiful wife, just the countenance, oh my gosh, the just Holy Spirit that is like glowing inside of you two. I just looked at Heather and I was like, I need to be friends with this guy. And you came in a season for me where I'm comfortably in this season now, but I was uncomfortably in a season where my daughters are dating. You have kids. I think you're about a decade in front of me. You know, 9 years in front of me, and you've walked for 10 years longer than I have, and I had no friends in my life that I could ask questions to, and so you became really my safe place when I was like, I need to talk to somebody about how I'm feeling as a dad, as his daughter is moving into engagement and all these things. And so that was my point of view from when we started having conversations, and I looked at you for maybe advice, but then it quickly just morphed into, I just want to be with you, and I'm just so appreciative.
Well, that's how I feel about you. So good. There's a good relationship there already established, Carlo. Thank you, and it's really a privilege to even be in this season of life with you. Honestly, you and Heather both. You know, your family is a gift. It's funny. Just the other day, so Heather was. I was working with Heather, hanging up pictures in our new building.
In the new building.
And just her spirit, it was just fun. I was like, you know, Heather, just show me where you need the picture to go. I'll take care of it. And she's like, well, I think it's like this. And I'm like, and we were just having a fun time walking through the building, and she's laughing. And you guys are just a gift. I mean, it's just, I love the friendship. The relationship is deep, and I think it's going to be a long one for a really good season of time. So
I'm excited. I'm excited that the season of time has brought you to Nashville, because you weren't in Nashville. So what I would love for you to do is just kind of give us a overview of maybe your journey as far as what you were doing, maybe let's say the last 10 years of your life. And then what you're doing now, and kind of that. I just love the God story and how you ended up here. Sure.
So I came here from Seattle the last 10 years, but actually it was the last 20 years. I was serving at a university in Seattle, serving as a vice president there.
Over what? Like, what was your...
So my main focus was on the relationships. Church relations or developing relational connections to the university, mostly pastors and leaders, key significant leaders, significant partners with the university. I was heavily involved in that. Then I was also overseeing, and I had done this for the bigger chunk of time. The biggest chunk of time that I was there was spiritual formation. So working very specifically hands-on in terms of just the discipleship process and spiritual formation of students' lives at the university. So and with that was overseeing, chapel services and, any ministry teams that were going out, missions and, those kinds of elements. So my heart has always been, from the very youngest memory that I have is ministry. I come from a ministry family. So third generation pastor. That is my heart for sure. I love people. I love to see the light come on in their mind when they actually truly have a revelation of who God is in their life. And the transformation that happens,
Yeah.
especially in a young person's life,
Yeah.
is profound. So I've loved that. My entire career in some way, shape, or form has been connected with students.
Okay.
And still is, even coming to Nashville, connected more now with Brenda directing our college, but at the church. But it's always been a passion of mine just to develop leaders for the next generation.
Yeah.
And if anything I could leave behind, I guess that would be the thing that I would hope for, that my life would actually be it's transferable.
Yes.
My passion, my leadership, my whatever gift I have, I want to give it away.
Wow.
I don't want to take anything with me, because all that I need will be waiting for me.
Yeah.
So whatever I have to leave, I want to leave it. I want to.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's where I've been.
Okay.
So,
And did you think this is, I mean, I'm higher education, going to do this, this thing until I ride home?
Well, that's an interesting story.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of a person that when I feel God's assignment on me for a specific look, and this has been my journey most of my career, right?
Okay.
In terms of, from the very beginning, almost every assignment that I've had from the Lord has been a long season. And it's mostly because I focus. I feel like God's called me a place. I will stay focused, stay in my lane, stay dedicated and committed for a long time. And, honestly, it wasn't till about maybe 5 years ago. So that's 15 years into the experience. I say this in all humility. So, this is definitely the Lord and how this process works. But very good friend of mine, two friends, both presidents of universities, started saying to me, Phil, you need to get ready for there's going to be there's a change coming.
Wow.
You need to get ready. And I was like, up to that point, I was saying no.
Okay.
I was saying no to a number of opportunities that were coming. And because I was really focused on the church, or on the school and the role that I was playing there. And so they said, you need to get ready for a change. A change is coming. I didn't know what that meant. Both of them were leaning into the fact that there were presidential opportunities that were coming.
Okay.
And sure enough, there were opportunities that came. So I started getting contacted from from schools. I keep saying church because
you're in it, bro.
Yeah. So universities were contacting me that were in presidential searches.
Okay.
And so I went through a few of those, all of which closed doors.
Okay.
The last closed door, and this is the interesting part of this whole journey, the last closed door of a presidential search that I was in the middle of came the very week that I got a phone call from Pastor Henry.
Really?
And I was surprised to get that call because I really only had a couple of short conversations with him that were casual when we were visiting Nashville. And I got a phone call from him asking if we would be interested in a transition. And honestly, at that point, again, I'm not trying to over spiritualize this moment, but I was at a place where I literally had told the Lord, whatever the next opportunity is, whoever called me, I didn't care if it was Costco.
Okay.
I mean, whatever came, I would say yes.
Wow.
And I was in a place just really walking in obedience because I really at that point felt, okay, this has been a 5-year process of God, you've told me. I feel that that's probably the truth. There's been closed door. And I don't understand that. Only you understand what this transition is going to look like.
Right.
So whatever it is, it's going to be yes.
Wow.
And
so that freaks me out. I'm having heart palpitations.
So that was
even saying that to
closed
God.
door, open opportunity within the same week.
Wow.
Yeah. So here I am.
This week, Human Hope is partnering with Green Chef. What is Green Chef? You may be asking yourself. Green Chef is a CCOF certified meal kit company. Green Chef makes eating well easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free. Listen, you may be a lifestyle I've never heard of when it came to eating. I guarantee you, Green Chef can help you. What I love about Green Chef is that they are the #1 meal kit for eating clean. Okay, so feel your best during this busy fall season with delicious, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring clean ingredients with no artificial colors, sweeteners, high fructose corn syrup, and limited added sugar. I need to let you guys know, Green Chef does it so healthy so that you guys can stay healthy all fall long. If you want to build healthier eating habits this fall, Green Chef can help. Now listen, I also love that they are sustainable. So 100% of their seafood meats meet the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch rankings of certified best choice or good alternative. With Green Chef, you're reducing your food waste by up to 23% versus grocery shopping. It's convenient. It's easy. They deliver everything you need to eat clean the easy way, straight to your door. So get ahead of the busy season with their convenient step-by-step recipes, including dinners that are ready in 25 minutes or less. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go to greenchef.com/60, the number 60, Human Hope, and use code 60 Human Hope to get 60% off plus free shipping. I do this myself. This is what my family does. I need you to go to greenchef.com/60 Human Hope and use code 60 Human Hope and get 60% off plus free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well. Y'all want to know how I sell the Instafamilia merch online? I use Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. Okay, so listen, whether you're a garage entrepreneur, solopreneur like I have been my entire career, or if you're IPO ready, you're ready to sell that thing, you're ready for investors, Shopify is the only tool that you need to start, run, and grow your business without the struggle. Shopify puts you in control of every sales channel. So whether you're selling satin sheets from Shopify's in-person point of sale system or offering organic olive oil on Shopify's all-in-one e-commerce platform, you are covered. And once you've reached your audience, Shopify, this is so cool, has the internet's best converting checkout to help you turn them from browsers into buyers. I love how much, literally Shopify is providing my family income for the fall, and I bet they can help you too. This is what I want you to do. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Human Hope, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Human Hope to take your business to the next level today. Shopify.com/Human Hope. So, and here you are in Nashville, and you're at the Belonging Co.
I am, and love it.
Yep. For those that know, we've had Pastor Alex and Henry on the podcast. A couple months ago. Yeah. And what are you doing now? So what was the door?
Yeah. So
are you the youth pastor? What tell us like
that would be awesome actually. But truthfully, Pastor Josh and Kayla Henry are incredible. So I would not want to be filling those shoes, although I enjoy working with them. Yeah. So the assignment actually that the Lord really asked me in the invitation that came from Pastor Henry and Alex is to lead the pastoral team. Yep. So that's my primary focus in terms of assignment, job description. But I'll say this: the assignment in my heart is broader than that. I really came to lift up their arms, to lift up Henry and Alex, if you will, to be the Swiss Army knife, if you will, the gap filler, if you will. I don't do. I mean, I do a few things. I feel like just life experiences. You have a few things that you can do and experience in. If those things will propel the mission of the church forward, and they would like me to step in, then then I'm happy to do that. And I feel like I'm in a good season of life to be able to help them just from experience. So that's really, honestly, to be honest with you, Carlos, in this moment, just as a really close friend, that's what my heartbeat is. Yeah. So with that is there's working with the pastoral staff and moving that and whatever the situation is. But even in the time that I've been there's been some already interesting opportunities where I've just been able to help them, help lift their. Yeah, and it's been great.
Well, I love that. And I mean, you've spoken a few times, you've preached a couple messages. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, Phil's a preacher too. So good, man.
You're kind to say that.
I've just, I love watching you love our pastors. Like, and you can just see that you love them, you protect them. A lot in your story right now, my mind is going 1,000 different directions, but where I want to go is this whole series, I'm just having friends of mine that are helping people realize that it's never too late.
Yeah.
And when I told you that that's kind of the idea around the 30,000 foot view of all of these conversations, something that you said was, I loved it. And you said, well, what if the conversation isn't just, it's never too late, but that, and help me with this. I think you said something similar to the fact of like, this road doesn't have to be
the end.
The end.
Yeah.
Unpack that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you get to a place in life and you look back on every season and they're fantastic. But I think a lot of times, and maybe it's a generational thing, maybe it's the perspective that young people have is that if it's all not the way I've dreamt it, or if it's not all the way I see my parents or people ahead of me, I need to have all of that now. And if you have it all now, you're going to miss everything that it takes to get there, which is a fantastic ride.
Yeah.
It's a ride full of ups and downs. But it's something you experience, because if you don't have the downs, you won't enjoy the ups.
Right.
I look back and I just go, man, the seasons that were tough, and I've had some.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all had them, right?
Yeah.
Had really difficult seasons, but I look back and it's given me such an incredible appreciation for the season that I'm in, and I've loved every season.
Yeah.
I love every season.
Yeah.
So it's not the end,
right?
It's a season to be enjoyed. Somebody told me, and I got to go find the data on this, but because they told me it came out of data, and I may not get this exactly correct, but your most effective decade, some people, if you were asked the question, what is your most effective decade in a span of life?
Okay.
So people would think, maybe it's when I hit my peak in terms of
earnings. Okay, yeah.
Maybe it's in, where like I'm in my mid 40s and I'm at the top of my game.
Yeah.
I'm just crushing it financially in every way. I've got my family and I've got, but actually, your most effective decade in life comes later. Your most effective, and they gave me a breakdown, and I may not get it correct,
no, it's okay.
but it still inspires me every day practically. Your most effective decade is in your 80s.
Wow.
Your second most effective was like in your 60s, and then your 70s, and that's based on levels of influence, people, your network of people that you've drawn relationship with, that you've drawn into your network, people that you can friends, that you've made with over the years, that and then their network becomes your network, and your place in life where you are financially, you've got the most opportunity to do things that really matter with whatever extra that you have that God's blessed you with. There's a number of factors that are included in all that. So the end is never, I mean, you were telling the story of a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
Did
I say that on the microphone?
That is like the beginning of the beginning of the beginning.
Yes.
You haven't even begun yet.
No.
Live the life, live the dream.
And you mentioned the 17-year-old. I was saying it before we hit record, and I do want to mention that because it's so true that it doesn't matter how old you are. People have this thought that, this is my road. This is the road I'm on. This is it. This is never changing. Yeah. And I was talking about one of Losiah's friends, my son Losiah, who is 17, just got into lacrosse, and I was asking him how it's going, and he just was a little bummed, and he's like, I just wish I would have started when I was 12. I feel like it's too late. And my jaw just dropped because I'm like, listen, bro, like I can go find a 50-year-old lacrosse team right now and join it and become better at lacrosse. Like, it's not ever too late. Never. But I just feel like there is there's a mindset, and I don't know if this is an American mindset. I don't know if, and maybe it is, but or maybe it's the season and the cultural context we find ourselves in. But let's lean into this for a second. What do you feel? Why do you feel like that is so prevalent these days, that people just feel like they're just missing out and they can't, they're never going to get to there. It's already past them and it's just too late. Like, why is that? Why does that feel like it's more of a problem than it's ever been?
A couple of things quickly come to mind, and I may, if we had more time to sort of give my brain some space on that, but I think a couple of things, and I think the quick, easy answer would be, I think we're focused so much on what social media really, role that plays, especially in young people. Yeah, that has become, the level of that in a person's life in terms of need, the dopamine dump that a young person needs or anybody needs. Yeah, it brings great pleasure. So people are scrolling through it. I'm at a season right now where I'm off social media. I don't post, and I don't go on it. Only because I've seen in working with college students, I've seen the hook. The hook, yeah. So with that comes a lot of comparisons, and most of what people portray on there. If social media actually, it could be an incredible tool, and in many ways it is. So it's not like you can throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think it's like everything else that's got purpose. Let's use it for it, and then make sure we monitor it and we're careful. But I think what that feeds into probably is a self-esteem issue that a lot of people are feeling like they need to fill. Where they're, their need to be needed, their need to be connected. Which is a human need, it's a very human need. I think if we would recognize that in our own selves, we would actually, so we would start to self-monitor. Absolutely. The older you get, the more aware you are, the younger you are, especially for guys. When you think about the development, we're getting into the weeds here. I love it. I love the weeds. Development of the human brain. Most guys, their brain's not even fully developed until they're in their late 20s, 28-year-old is what social sciences will say. But women, it's earlier. But when you think about the development. That was the problem, FYI, if you're listening to this. That was my 28-year-old problem. Phil just fixed everything that we've been in therapy for. Okay, go ahead. It's true, though, Carlos. I mean, it's true. It's very difficult to hold a lot of guys even accountable. They do need to be held accountable. Sure. But I was a knucklehead. Yeah. I was my wife. You mentioned Heather. Yeah. My wife helped put me together as a young man, and I give her full credit for that. She's still the most patient, loving, unconditional, loving person on the planet for me. So, but I think then probably the biggest thing, to answer your question in short, is that we don't necessarily have a full concept of what God has actually asked us to step into and created us to do, to be. To lean into. And every one of us, you can go right to scripture, obviously, and every one of us have gifts. Thank God we're not both feet of the body of Christ. We're hands and we're feet and we're nose and we play different roles. And if we don't agree with somebody because they aren't on the same page with us in some way, shape, or form, we get upset at them and then we cut them off. And that's the beauty of the body of Christ, as we all lean into what God has called us to do, each individually. Yes. Back to your point, we're not embracing that fully. Right. We're not embracing that fully. Yeah. So,
how do you embrace that? So the person that's like, okay, that makes sense, Phil. What do I do? Yeah. How do I embrace it? Yeah. Because I'm tired of feeling like I've missed the boat.
Yep. And these are not to be overly simple in the response, but we have not developed enough listening
to people or God?
To God and people.
Okay.
Both. Yeah. We need both. Yeah. We need mentors. Yeah. That's Jesus with skin on. Yep. Who we can trust, who love us, even love us with hard things, through the hard things, difficult things. I've had people say very difficult things, but I know they love me. Yeah. And I may not even agree in the moment. I'll pause, and it's like, okay. But see, you take that difficult thing that was been said by somebody that you know cares about you and cares about your future. Most of the time, it's my wife.
Right.
I mean, honestly, somebody asked me the other day, you know, asked me a couple times, do you know the voice of God? Have you ever heard the audible voice of God? The answer to that question is yes.
Yeah.
And it sounds a lot like Brenda.
So
I mean,
good.
it's like the same. And most women have an intuition that men don't have.
Yeah.
And it's real. It's real.
Yeah.
She listens to the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit speaks to her. She has discernment like nobody I've ever met. So she'll say hard things to me, but I know it's for my good. And there's others. There's some mentors in my life. They don't even know that they're my mentor.
Yeah.
There are people that I read on a regular basis. There's podcasts that I listen to on a regular. They're my mentors. They don't even know it. You know.
Yep.
And they're speaking into my life. But here's I think where that comes full circle is if you're not taking those things and actually having a time with the Lord where you're allowing those thoughts, those instructions to actually find good soil in your heart. Those seeds have got to find a place where they actually develop. That has to happen in a quiet time. My walk this morning was a walk in prayer. You know, I don't miss a morning. I'm at least 5 times a week. And it's really
you're walking in the morning 5 times.
Pray and exercise. That's my jam. It's on my calendar. I could show you my calendar right now.
P&E.
I got that actually from a friend of mine. He calls it prayer and exercise, which is excellent. But he's a trainer.
Okay.
And that's what he does. He actually trains people, and then he does motions with them. But I've captured his little tagline at prayer and exercise for myself.
You do it every day, 5 days a week.
At least 5 days a week. It's on my calendar. I don't let any other schedule land on my calendar at that time. If anybody asks me, are you available at this hour in the morning? The answer is no. I have an appointment already. Okay. And my calendar's full.
Wow.
And that's because I've got to have. I have to have, and I think people must have a time where you sort out the craziness of life.
Yeah.
So voices that are being spoken into your personal life, into who you are as an individual, sorting out scripture and letting it impact your life. And there are some days, I'll be quite honest, some days I'll read a passage of scripture in the morning, and it's like, oh, okay.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
But I also don't remember sometimes what I had for breakfast yesterday. I mean, I've heard somebody say that to me. It's like,
so good.
You know, I don't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, but I know I had it. So, you know.
And this is you getting that soil in your spirit prepared to listen and to hear God. And
100%.
Because what I hear you saying is, in order to truly be able to hear, we do have to slow down. And I feel like in today's society, everyone is trying to figure out what's next, trying to figure out, oh my gosh, have I missed it? And so they're just filling their head with noise and content and YouTube videos and all these things, trying to 5 steps to this. And you're almost saying the opposite.
Yeah, just slow down.
Yeah.
I had a good friend this probably 3 weeks ago. He went to a monastery. 3 days in a monastery. I think you've done something similar.
I
like
did.
that. So,
I wish it was only 3 days.
I know you've got more story there, and that just dawned on me as I was saying.
That's good. Yeah.
The person I'm referring to is not you, but you did this.
Yes.
And he just booked a monastery. 3 days. Got away, left his phone, everything behind, took his Bible and a notebook, and just went.
Yes.
I admire him huge. I've never done that, but I admire him because he just wanted to get away from the craziness and really needed to get an answer from the Lord for some things in his life. And God met him. Powerful.
Y'all know I am still partnering with Beekeepers Naturals. Beekeepers Naturals is an incredible business that creates clean, effective products that actually work. And they use what bees are building with, which is propolis. Okay, that is the hero ingredient inside of Beekeepers Natural. It's the medicine of the beehive and helps support our immune system with antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and over 300 plus beneficial compounds. Save the bees and the planet how do they do that? Well, they practice sustainable beekeeping and third-party test the formulas to ensure that the products are free of pesticides and heavy metals. They never overharvest the hives, right? Which means they're taking care of the bees. Y'all know, you listen to the J episode, I love my bees, and I love that the bees create propolis. Well, again, what is propolis? It's what the bees use to protect the hive, and it is really tough to get out of the hive when they are using it to seal it shut. So all of these, 10-finger humans can't get in there. It's been studied to have antimicrobial and antifungal properties to help fight germs. So they've got a lot of incredible products. The way that you guys can jump in this Beekeepers Naturals is this. Today, Beekeepers Naturals is offering you an exclusive offer. Go to beekeepersnaturals.com/humanhope or enter code humanhope to get 20% off your order. I'm doing it myself with my own code. Y'all got to do this. That is beekeepersnaturals.com/humanhope or enter code humanhope at Beekeepers Naturals. Beekeepers Naturals products are also available at Target, Whole Foods, Amazon, CVS, and Walgreens. Guys, check them out. Once again, we are partnering with my favorite hiring platform, Indeed. Why do I love Indeed? Because Indeed can help you and can help me find that next partner that we need. And I'm not talking about a romantic partner. No, I'm talking about a partner that can help your business. So instead of spending hours on multiple job sites, just searching, scrolling, going like, what? I can't find somebody that's fitting exactly what I need. No, just go to Indeed.com. It's so easy. They do it for you. I've seen them do it for me. And even better, Indeed is the only job site where you only pay for applications that meet your must-have requirements. That is not the case on other job sites, but it is at Indeed. Indeed is an unbelievably powerful hiring platform, delivering, get this, 4 times more hires than all other job sites combined. Join more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Okay, check this out. Start hiring now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/humanhope. Offer good for a limited time. Claim your $75 job credit now at Indeed.com/humanhope. Just go to Indeed.com/humanhope and support the show by saying you heard about it on this podcast. Indeed.com/humanhope. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. God will meet you. One thing that my dad used to say is, when you lower the volume of life, the volume of God goes up.
Yeah, that's right. And that's well said.
And it's like you just, God has been speaking. God has been telling us, what I've learned is he has been telling me the whole time where it is to go, what the adventures that lie ahead, but I couldn't hear him because everything else was so loud.
Yeah.
And, slowing down does that. And I love the idea of setting an appointment every single day where you can do that.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah. I mean, most people look at their calendar, right? What do I have on my calendar for the next day? What do I need? So I usually do that, just check it before I go to bed, and I open it up and like, oh yeah, okay, set my alarm for my time with Jesus.
Yeah.
So that's,
I'll wake up in the morning and Whitney will have texted me, and she has everything that I have to do today. Okay, don't forget this. So Whitney, we're going to add P&E. P&E. I'm going to add pray and exercise.
Pray and exercise.
I love that. I love it. See, listen, you walked in here going like, Carlos, thanks for having me on the podcast. Like I don't know why you're having me. This has been so life-giving, so good. You got so
you
much.
Are so kind. You've
got so much. So, you'd mentioned that you're in a place where, and again, you're constantly dreaming, like you're a decade ahead of me, and you're like, no, like into my 80s, I'm going to be able to, now that I can't wait to find the study that you were talking about where the data shows that you're most influential. There's a lot of people that are 60, 70, 75, 80, 50, 40 that have stopped dreaming, that have stopped. Talk to them for a second. The ones that have literally just kind of given up on dreaming and just thinking, well, this is it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like give them a little fill.
Yeah. Wow, that's good. I think one of the things that sort of takes the legs out of a person, it kind of wipes a person out as you start getting older. Your body starts to change.
Yeah.
That's real. Physically,
Eyes.
yeah. I mean, there's things that you just start falling apart a little bit. That's real. I just, conversation with a really good friend yesterday. Had surgery in an area of his body that was all related to age.
Yeah,
I won't go into
yeah.
details on that, but and we were just talking about this whole thing about getting older. But it was cool, even in that conversation. He's very health conscious, works out every day, and I think for a person aging, you've got to work harder at it to combat what your body is going to naturally do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, for both Brendan and I, we don't miss a day of supplements.
Okay.
Our food has
Yeah.
changed. The nutrition in our food is not what it used to be.
Right.
So if you're not, and we're hardly ever sick.
Yeah.
I actually can't remember the last day I missed work.
Wow. Wow.
And I think all of that is exercise. It's eating right.
Yeah.
We don't, and there's occasionally where I will, indulge like anybody.
Sure.
I have a weakness to ice cream, to be honest. But, so I think that's a big part of it. But then I think a lot of it really does come ultimately to a mindset. It's a mindset.
Yeah.
And the older you get a little bit, rough around the edges, a little crotchety. You look back on life and you kind of go, I'm not where I wanted to be when I was 80 years old.
Right.
And whose want is that?
Right.
Right. I mean, is that just because you're unsatisfied or, have you forgotten to be thankful and grateful for the things that you have been given and what God has provided for you? So our mind plays, and that's, I guess, probably over the course in the journey of anybody as they go through your mind plays tricks on you. But I think as you get older, it gets harder, especially if you're not satisfied.
Yep.
A season of gratitude. It covers all kinds of things. And we become very ungrateful, I think, as we get older and we get a little bit crotchety.
Yeah, and I think that people need to realize that just because you're getting older doesn't mean that your need for your relationship with God gets any less. I just think to myself, like, I want to constantly. I just turned 50, and I feel like God is getting bigger to me. Like He's getting, bigger, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even actually realize this about God, and this about God, and suddenly, like, there's an excitement as I age, because I feel like, wow, I got another year to figure out who God is and who I am.
Totally.
And I just want people to view it that way, like I just.
And this, again, not to over spiritualize this. I keep saying that because I'm trying to be very real, but all of us have been given a span of life.
Yeah.
And all of us will one day expire.
We all have an expiration date.
As we get closer to that expiration date, I think naturally our spirit begins to prepare for eternity.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that.
Wow.
So when you say I have more of a revelation of God as I age.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah.
If you're not,
right,
then I think the enemy is actually trying to pull you away from what God has actually intended for us to be at the end of our journey.
Yes.
And that is with Him.
Wow.
In a very peaceful, wonderful, glorious sort of celebration.
Yes.
And I think, honestly, the enemy wants to pull. So what you're just described is exactly, I think, the journey we should be on.
Yes. God's growing bigger. God's not getting smaller as we get closer to hanging out with Him every day, you know?
Yeah.
This has been so good, man.
Yeah, I love it.
I just appreciate you, and just I'm so blessed to be in whatever this season is for you. I'm so grateful that we crossed paths because you brought me some sanity that I needed.
Oh man, I love you. I love your family. Love your kids. You're just a blessing in my life. So
thanks, man. I love you. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, that was incredible. It's not the end, right? Some of you may be thinking that, oh, this road is going to lead me to the end. No, enjoy the season. And how about this? How about the fact that he let us know that it's been studied and proven that your most effective decade is in your 80s. 80s, second most only to your 60s. There's so much in front of you. So much in front. I've not even started to let you guys know, have I? Gosh, I can't remember what I talked about last week anymore, but my love for the Golden Bachelor. I'm just telling you to watch these golden era people find love and find hope and dream. It's never too late. Phil let us know so much good stuff. If you guys wouldn't mind, find Phil. Well, I've got his Instagram and all the things in the show notes. Find him, let him know how grateful you are that he is helping us not give up on dreaming. Thank you, Phil. I love you so much. Hey, Dr. Delight. Hey, this has been episode, what episode was it? 130. Men, women, and children. Hope is in the building. Next week, we're coming back for episode 131, continuing in the It's Never Too Late series. I'm so grateful for all of you. Please keep doing me a favor. Share these podcasts with your grandmama, your aunt, your uncle, your cousins, all the people. Let's let more people find a little bit of hope. See you guys next week.